everyone, my name is Kaylee and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Okay, everybody, hello. Happy Monday night or Tuesday. I don't know what day you guys are going to be seeing this on, but quick thing, I haven't posted. I tried filming a TikTok and
we do not care.
Anyways, let's move on. I'm going to bring you guys up close. There we go. Okay, so for those of you who may be new here, I'm going to do my quick usual little rundown. For most of the video, I would be looking in this direction because my mirror's over here and I would like to see what I'm doing. I do tell these story times in a first person point of view, so if you don't like that, then you can leave.
There's the door. There's the door, bitch!
And these story times are sent in by anonymous people. Okay, now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's get into today's story time. So, story time about how my boyfriend tried to use me for TikTok clout. Yes, keyword, tried, fucking failed. Anyway, so a little background information. I was 22 years old and I was working as a waitress. And I'm not gonna lie, I was bored with my life. Okay, I was tired of being single and I was tired of sleeping with my ex every now and then just because I was lonely. Yeah, that's the best way to put that. So this whole thing happened because of a Hinge date that I went on. This guy and I, we started talking on Hinge, and by the way, we're gonna call him Luke. So yeah, Luke and I, after about a month of us talking over Hinge, we finally decided that we should go on a date. And by talking for a month, I don't mean like we were FaceTiming and talking to each other every day. No, I mean it was like every 5 days, one of us would be like, hey, want to go on a date? Sure, we'd pick a date and then the plans would fall through. Mainly on his part, like I am a well-organized person and whenever we set plans, those are set in stone for me. So yeah. Anyway, so I finally text him and I'm like, are we ever gonna go on this date? LOL. And I think that kind of made him realize, oh shit, we have been saying that we're gonna go on a date for a minute now. Maybe I should actually follow through with the plans this time. Like, thanks, bud. So that made him actually stick to the plan. And if I'm being honest, that date went horrible. The worst date I've ever been on in my life. He seemed like such a douchebag. He was asking me super weird questions and then making it seem like I was the weirdo. Okay, I guess these aren't like weird questions. You know, this is how you get to know somebody, by asking questions. But I would think that the questions on a first date, or at least at the beginning of the first date, would be like, oh, where do you work? What's your favorite color? No. That wasn't it at all. He was like, how many exes have you had? And I was like, oh, we're getting right into it. Okay, sure. All good here, buddy. So I respond and I'm like, just two. And he was like, oh, what happened? Why'd you guys break up? And at first I'm thinking, okay, buddy, you're getting a little too personal here. But then I'm like, you know what? Maybe he just really wants to get to know me. Yeah, that's what I thought. Shame on me for thinking that a man would actually be genuine. Okay, anyways, sorry. So I'm like, well, both of them ended up cheating on me because that's what happened. And he's like, oh, so it just so happens that both of your exes were the toxic ones in the relationship. And I'm like, excuse me? And I look at him and I'm like, are you trying to say that I'm lying right now? And he's like, well, I just think it's toxic whenever somebody's had multiple exes and then they say that all of their exes were the problem. This man's acting like I said that I dated like 20 fucking guys. I never said that. Two guys. Like, are you joking? Let me just interject real quick, okay? If y'all have seen any of my other videos, even just one of them, you have heard me say time and time again that if someone has a ton of exes and they say that every single one of them was the problem, they are usually the problem. But I want to make this very clear. It is not uncommon for you to have a few exes who have cheated. Especially in today's day and age, cheating on your significant other is normalized. And the only reason why I say that is because we have young men who have been taught for years that the more women you have and you've slept with, the more of a man you are. Not to mention, now we have these piece of shit podcasters who get a mic and a fucking ring light and tell men they can do whatever the hell they want to do because they're high value men. More like low value man whores. Excuse my language. Okay, moving on. Sorry. One more thing. If a girl tells me that the only two boyfriends she has ever had in her life have cheated on her, I'm gonna believe her. If a guy tells me that his ex-girlfriend cheated on him, maybe 2 ex-girlfriends, I'll believe him. But when we start getting to the 3rd, 4th, and 5th girlfriend and all of them have cheated on you, that's when I'm gonna give you the side eye. Because you're telling me out of all those girls, none of them loved you? Maybe if you're looking for love in the wrong places, okay, but men cheat more than women, and I will die on that hill. I'll die on it. I'll get married on it. I'll have kids on it, and I'll fucking die on it. And if there are men watching this, I'm sorry, not meaning to offend you. Okay, sorry for that whole rant. Back to the story. So yeah, he's making me seem like I'm some crazy bitch. And so I'm like, okay, well, what about you? How many girlfriends have you had? And he's like, oh, well, I have like 3 ex-girlfriends, but none of those relationships worked out. So I'm like, oh, why didn't they work out? And I'm not gonna lie, at this point, I am trying to find something to just grill him about. So then he's like, oh, well, you know, one of them wanted to have kids and get married within the next year or 2, and I just wasn't ready. And I cut him off, and I'm like, oh, is it because you're more interested in partying and hanging out with your friends that you're not willing to settle down? And he's like, no, not at all. I'm still in college. I want to get a career before I start a family so I can support them. And honestly, that made sense. So obviously I felt a little bit shitty and pissed off because I couldn't find anything to yell at him about. Anyways, I decided to end the date very quickly after that. So I ended the date very quickly after that, and I didn't overthink anything. I was like, well, there's another date that just happened to go really fucking bad. No chance of getting a man still. And then a week later, he texted me asking if we could go on another date. And I texted him and I'm like, well, why would you want to go on a date with somebody who's so toxic? And he's like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, bitch, do you have like amnesia or something? I don't really know what amnesia means, but I'm pretty sure that it means like, I don't know.
Girl, shut the fuck up!
So then I text him and I'm like, you made it seem like I was some demon or something, like a fucking spawn of Satan. Why would you want to go on another date with me? And he was like, I'm sorry, I'm just always super skeptical. I don't want to get hurt, blah, 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 bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. So then I'm like, okay, fine, we can go on another date. And, I know you guys are probably like, you dumb bitch. Yeah. But at the same time, I was desperate for a relationship. So yeah, if I could go back and tell myself not to go on that date, I would, but too late now. Anyway, so fast forward, the next date went so much better. So much better. So fast forward, now we've been dating for 4 months, and when I say dating, I mean dating. Like, I met his parents, we've been on vacation together, we've spent almost every single night since that second date with each other, whether it's me sleeping over his house or him coming to my apartment and sleeping over. And yeah, I would say the only weird thing that kind of threw me off a little bit was the fact that I'd never seen his social media pages, like none of them. And it was because he told me, he was like, yeah, I only use them to send memes. I don't go on there. And he was like, and I posted a few TikToks, but I don't want you to see them. They're embarrassing. And I'm like, okay, you know, whatever. I'm not going to push somebody who's shy. No. Anyways, so yeah, I brushed that off. So fast forward to the one night, I'm at my friend's apartment and we're just laying in her bed enjoying each other's company when all of a sudden I hear Luke's voice come from her phone. Yeah, Luke's voice just come right out of her phone. And she's seen a picture of him before, but she didn't know like what he looked like. So she didn't know that this guy on her For You page was him. So I'm sitting there with my phone in my hand, basically frozen from shock because I'm terrified to look over at that phone and see my boyfriend, especially when the first thing out of his mouth in the beginning of this TikTok is just went on a date with this girl. And let me tell you, they keep getting crazier and crazier. Oh yeah. So finally I go over and I look at her phone and it's him sitting in some car talking to the camera like he's some motivational speaker. Mind you, the night that he's talking about how he went on a date with this girl, you know, the night before, blah, blah, blah. Him and I were supposed to go on a date. Fucking liar. So I go onto his TikTok from her phone because obviously he had me blocked. And girl, not only did he have a TikTok account that he actively posted on, he had a whole series called something like Dating Psycho Chicks Until I Find the One. And that video was part 17. And apparently I was just another psycho chick. And his little view chasing saga of finding the one. So I'm scrolling down his TikTok trying to see what video he posted about me. And I was part 7 of this little series. He didn't make a video about our second date that went well. No, instead he made a video about our first date, where he mentions that I have 17, or that I had 17 boyfriends. And I had told him that all of them cheated on me. Oh yeah. And then he lies and says the same exact story that he told me why his other relationships didn't work out. He was like, yeah, and then, she told me that within the next year she wants to get married, have kids. And I knew this was about me because he posted it right after our date. So as I'm sitting here staring at this TikTok account, I think to myself, okay, so either he lied about all of these dates that he's been on since we started dating, or he was actually going on these dates and I just didn't know. Obviously, I was really hoping that it was the first thought that I had, but after doing some digging, like looking through our text messages and trying to see if there were any instances where he had canceled on me, and of course, I was right. Every time that he had canceled on me, either that same night or the next day, there would be a video posted about a girl that he went on a date with. I know you guys are probably like, you stupid hoe, how did you not know that this was going on? Well, because I trusted him. Yeah, I trusted him. I really did. I really, really did. Like a stupid bitch. So, yeah. As I'm realizing this, I'm looking back and I'm like, wow, I am kind of dumb. Because why would I ever think that his work would call him to come and help them at 9 o'clock at night, even though his work closed at 9 o'clock at night, and it wasn't even like he was a manager or anything like that. So, yeah, I text him screenshots confronting him about that. Well, actually, I'm gonna say I try to confront him about this by sending him the screenshots. The reason why I say try is because what did he do? Oh, yeah, he blocked me. No explanation about anything. Nope, he just fucking blocked me. And I can't even say on everything because he already had me blocked on everything except for text messages and Hinge. And then this motherfucker has the audacity to post another TikTok. Another one. There was no mention of me directly, but it was painfully obvious that it was about me. And the caption was, dating psycho chicks until I finally find the one, part 18. Yeah. So what do you know? Another video of him sitting in his car, and he's like, PSA, ladies, if you don't make it clear that you want a relationship, don't be mad when a guy dates around. Also, beware of clout chasers. Stay safe, kings. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Yeah, that was the post. That was the post. And honestly, I'm just sitting there thinking to myself, did I hallucinate this whole fucking relationship? Like, seriously, did I? Like, the weekend trips, the I love you text messages, the meeting his parents, which, by the way, he wanted me to meet his parents. I never pushed him to do that. Yeah, apparently I just hallucinated all of that, and it was never real. To him, that was all just casual dating. So y'all can already guess what I did. Or maybe not, because maybe I didn't seem that petty at the beginning of this story. But I screen recorded his videos off of my friend's phone, and I made my own TikTok video exposing him. Now, listen, I know you're probably thinking, girl, nobody gives a fuck about this situation enough for you to make a TikTok about it. And listen, I know that nobody did, but here's the thing. I wanted other girls and women to be aware of guys like this. And the best way to do that was to post it on TikTok, because as we all know, TikTok finds a way to get stuff to its target audience. Just like what happened with Luke's video being on my best friend's For You page. They don't know each other, so we don't have any mutual friends. Anyways, yeah, so in my TikTok, I dropped the receipts, screenshots, voice notes, photos. It wasn't some huge scandal. Like, this guy wasn't famous or anything like that. In fact, he was barely anybody on TikTok. Because when I was scrolling through his TikTok page, I realized that a year before we started going out, back in 2021, one of his videos of him trashing his ex-girlfriend got like 3 million views and 400,000 likes. And when you go to somebody's TikTok page, at the top, it will tell you how how many likes they've gotten on all their videos put together. And on his, it said that he had about 406,000 likes. So in my head, I knew that those 11,000 followers and almost every single one of those likes came from that video. So it wasn't like these videos that he was posting about these dates were blowing up or anything like that. He was lucky if he even got like 200 views on one of them. And I know you guys are probably thinking that I'm putting a lot of thought into this. I'm not. Okay? I was just seeing if one of these videos that he had posted about these girls had blown up, and thankfully none of them did, because trash like that shouldn't be on the internet. The video that I made about him though, the views started climbing. I would say within like maybe a few hours it had like 50,000 views, and I had like 10 followers on TikTok at that time because I didn't use TikTok. Oh, and I made sure to block him too because yeah, you're not about to go and see my shit. Can I just say, guys, blocking somebody on TikTok who has blocked you first is such a pain in the ass because you have to go on the computer and just, it's so fucking annoying. So fast forward to 8 o'clock that night, like 7 hours later, after I posted that video, Luke was blowing up my phone from random numbers because I had blocked him on messages. So I keep ignoring these phone calls. I fall asleep when at 3 in the morning, my buzzard starts going off. If you don't know what I mean by buzzer, it's pretty much, I live in an older apartment building and it has like this intercom system where you can actually speak back and forth with somebody who is in the lobby. So first I thought that it was one of my friends because one of my friends lives next door, and sometimes when she's drunk, she'll want to sleep over my house because she gets scared to stay at her house alone. But just because she would usually do this doesn't mean I'm a fucking idiot. So I still check to make sure that it's actually her. But when I walk over to my buzzer, I hear Luke's voice. Yes, I do. And he is just going on and on and on about some bullshit, saying, I don't even know why you would post something like that about me. You know, I love you. I've always loved you. I've never cared about TikTok. I only ever cared about you. You're seriously trying to ruin my life over one little mistake. Please unblock me. Just come outside so we can talk about this. And he's saying all this like he's the one who's hurt. Like he's the victim in all of this. Meanwhile, I'm standing here listening to him blow up my fucking buzzard thing like a psycho person. And because I'm not messy and I honestly wanted nothing to do with him at this point, I decided to take the video down. But I told him the only way that I would do it was if he would take the video down, like completely delete it, and never talk about me ever again. And I also said to him, this is gonna be the last time that I speak to you. And for some reason, this made him angry. I don't know why you would be angry about a girl that you clearly never cared about, never wanting to speak to you again, especially if she's willing to take down this video you're so upset about. Maybe it was because I was the person who was actually able to call the shots in that moment. Oh, and real quick, this is important. Once I realized that it was Luke on the thing, I started recording on my phone because I just had a gut feeling that this was maybe gonna get ugly and he was gonna try to twist this story around somehow. Thank God I was recording, because when I told him that it was over and to leave me alone, he whispered into the intercom, well, just don't forget that I have your nude, stupid bitch. And I'm like, what is that supposed to mean? And he's like whispering, making it super, super creepy. And he was like, I'm just saying, you don't have the upper hand in this situation. Yeah, y'all, I didn't even hesitate. I called the police. I called the fucking police. And he didn't say anything else, so I ran over to my window because I had a clear view of the street, and he would always usually park on the other side of the street across from my apartment. And I made sure to get a video of him walking over to his car from the apartment because he was not gonna be able to say that he never came to my apartment, this, that, and the next. Hell no. I had all the receipts in the fucking world. So yeah, like I said, I called the police and the dispatcher told me that an officer would call me back soon to take a full statement and open an investigation. Because first of all, what he did, recording me without my consent during you know what, threatening me with it. Yeah, this man was a psycho and he clearly wanted to fucking ruin me as a person, and just, yeah, a man like him is dangerous. So the police called me back and took all the full details of everything that happened. And the next morning, They went to his job. Full uniform badge and everything. And can I just say one thing? I absolutely love how the world works. Because while the police are at his work, the friend that I told you guys about, her side hustle is door dashing. Where was she when this is happening? Oh, she was picking up food from the restaurant that he works at. Yup. God works in mysterious ways, let's just say that. Anyways, so later on that day, stupidly enough, he tries calling me from a random number, which is like fucking weird. Like, dude, the police just came to your job. Do you not get the hint? Leave me the fuck alone. But yeah, he was leaving me voicemails, fake crying, saying how he's sorry and he'll delete it. He'll delete everything if I just let the whole situation go, which I had already deleted that first video because I had no interest in beefing with him, this man child. So I think that he meant like drop the situation with the police, which no, I wasn't going to. But I made one last TikTok, calm, collected, no name calling, no dragging, just a little update to how the situation ended. And at the end, I said, he thought that I was just another crazy girl for his TikTok story time, but turns out he was mine. Period. Go off, sis. Okay, everybody, that is the end of today's story time. If you guys like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more, hit that subscribe button down below. And if you want to know whenever I post my next video, make sure to click that bell. And if you guys want to send in your anonymous story time, or you want to know how to send in your anonymous story time, make sure to click the links down below in the description. But other than that, I will see you guys next time with a new story time.